cadets are divided into 6 squadrons.
Good morning everyone. A very warm welcome to all the school participants. Our Vice Chancellor and Rector 2, Vice Chancellor Professor Jagdish Kumar and Rector 2 Professor Satish Garkoti is here in between, and he is interacting with all school participants and teachers. And we are expecting our guest arrival very soon. Applause for our Vice Chancellor, Professor Jagdish Kumar. I mentioned that our Vice Chancellor is interacting with the student, and he is right here in front of him, and it's a big inspirational talk from the Vice Chancellor point that he is trying to interact and bridge the gap between university and the school students. And we really look up to him for all his wisdom here. Please have patience. We are just waiting for our chief guest to arrive, and we'll start the program soon. Thank you.
ज्ञान ज्ञान में लाइफ कटा वहाँ पे इसमें सभी वहाँ तो दीपक होता है हाँ से इन लोकेशन ज्ञान कटा लाइफ
Good morning everyone. A very warm welcome to all the participating school students, teachers, faculty members and our distinguished guests. In this inaugural session of second annual Open Day that is being celebrated in GNU, and it is both an honor and privilege to be part of the organizing team which is meant for conducting a wonderful task of bridging the gap between university and school students. Well, Dean William Arges once said, the aim of the education is the knowledge, not of fact but of values. It is an occasion like this that we get an opportunity to share knowledge and understanding for future development. The university is proud to have produced a growing number of eminent social scientists, civil servants, literacy critics, media experts, foreign language experts, etc. over the last 47 years and more. It is a great initiative from our Vice Chancellor to showcase research and academic activities to young upcoming buds that can build up their career path in the right direction and gain inspiration from the expertise that our university can offer in various streams such as languages, literature, social sciences, life sciences, environmental sciences, biotechnology and so on. To begin with the inaugural session of GNU Open Day, Now may I request our distinguished guest to come over to the dais. And we have today our chief guest as Dr. S.K. Saraswat, who is Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University. Please welcome him up. And I request to come over to the dais. Professor M. Jagdish Kumar, Vice Chancellor. Professor S.C. Garkoti, Rector 2. Professor Umesh Kulshresht, who is the convener of this Open Day program. Please welcome them all. Now I request our students to welcome, Rashmi to welcome Dr. B.K. Saraswat with the bouquet. Shweta to welcome Professor Jagdish Kumar, Vice Chancellor. Rashmi to welcome Professor S.C. Garkoti, Rector 2. Shweta to welcome Professor Umesh Kulshresht, who is convener of this program. Now I request our dignitaries to please initiate the event by lighting the lamp. And this will be accompanied by a month recitation from students of Special Center of Sanskrit Studies.
होताहारं रत्नधातमम् अग्निपूर्वे एभिरिषभिरीड्योलोतनैरुता सदेवाङ्गेह वक्षति अग्निना आरैमश्नवत्पोषमेव दिवे दिवे यशसं वीरवत्तमम् अग्नेयज्जमध्वरं विश्वतः परिभूरसि स इत्येवेषु गच्छति अग्निर्होताः कविक्रतुः सत्यश्चित्रश्रवस्तमः देवो देवेभिरागमत ॐ स्वस्ति ॐ स्वस्ति ॐ स्वस्ति.
All the dignitaries and students for taking us in Vedic Charishma. Now I request our Rector 2, Professor S.C. Garkoti, for a welcome address. He is an eminent environmentalist with more than 20 years research experience in the field of plant ecology, forest structure, community regeneration and tree water relation. He has wide experience in high altitude forest of Central Himalayas. Professor S.C. Garkoti, please.
Good morning. Honorable Chancellor, Professor B.K. Saraswat, the chief guest of today's function. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Jagdish Kumar, the inspiration behind JNU Open Day and the main force behind this function. Professor Umesh Kulshresht, the convener of the program, and his very hard-working team, distinguished guests, colleagues, dear students from various schools in Delhi, teachers and parents. On behalf of Vice Chancellor Jawaharlal Nehru University, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you in this second JNU Open Day. We started JNU Open Day, what we named as Jan Jan JNU last year. This is the second JNU Open Day, and this date has become one of the most important dates in JNU's calendar. So, I'm especially pleased that today we have with us our chief guest, none other than our Chancellor of JNU. I welcome you, sir. Despite your very, very busy schedule, you agreed to come here and grace this occasion. Your presence here and your interaction with these young minds who have come from different schools will highly inspire them. Friends, JNU Open Day is designed as introduction and as welcome to the people, to the students who are interested in pursuing higher education in an institute that is very well known for its quality education. Here I would like to mention that since its inception, JNU has always set higher goals in the field of academics and high quality research. After joining of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, last 2 years, we have been ranked #1 central university in the country. This year, we got Visitor Award, President of India Award at Best University in the country. On the top of that, on 15th August 2017, one of the global ranking placed our university in top ranking institutes of this country. In addition to the projects that are being exhibited outside from various schools, centers and special centers in JNU, first time we have projects from our defense institutions who have been recognized by Jawaharlal Nehru University. In general, we have feeling that defense means people who are just protecting our borders. They are fighting wars there. In reality, defense means much more than that. I'll not tell what much more. This you yourself will realize when you will just visit their stalls and will interact with those officers. They have got their projects there. Some of the defense institutes, they could not join us physically. They have sent their documentary. Through that, they will be showcasing what they are doing there. So some of you would get inspired to join defense institutes to develop your overall personality. I'm sure you will enjoy your day ahead, and for everyone there will be some message to take home. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Garkoti, for enlightening address. Now I request Professor M. Jagdish Kumar, our Vice Chancellor, to deliver his inaugural address. Professor Kumar did his MS and PhD in Electrical Engineering from IIT Chennai, followed by postdoctoral research at Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering from University of Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. He is the Chief Investigator of Nanoscale Research Facility and Center of Excellence for Nano Devices. He has received several awards to his credit, and he works in the area of nano-electrical devices. In total, he is true example of simple living and high thinking. I welcome Professor Jagdish.
Dr. V.K. Saraswat, Chancellor of JNU, my colleagues on the dais, professors from JNU in the audience, teachers and students from various schools. It gives me great privilege, it gives me great happiness to welcome all of you to JNU on this open day. Just before the beginning of this program, I was just going around and talking to some students. I asked them, what is that you are expecting today? So some of you said some motivating lectures. Some of you said, we want to go around and see what is going on in the labs. So you have this picture of JNU in your mind, perhaps, that in this university we do not only teach our students, we also carry out research and innovation. And these are terms that we quite often hear, research and innovation. I want to very briefly explain what it means and how we train our students to do research and innovation. So when you entered JNU, perhaps some of you were curious to know more about JNU. You might have peeped through the windows and looked around while you traveled from the North Gate to the convention center, right? So this is the first step in research. You keep observing. And you observe because you are curious about things. Now, while you are coming in the bus, some of you might have observed that JNU has a lot of trees. So some of you might have noted that some trees are tall, some trees are small, some trees have a lot of branches, and so on. Now this curiosity and observation has resulted in some knowledge about JNU. So when you go out, you might tell your friends, JNU is very green, it has a lot of trees. But then some of you might have further questioned, you might have gone beyond the observation. For example, some of you might have asked, why is that some trees have small leaves? And why is that some trees have bigger leaves? Why some leaves have lighter green color, some have much more deeper green color? So after observation, you enter into the phase of questioning, right? But some of you might have gone beyond this questioning. So some of you might have thought, why this neem tree has this particular shape of leaf? Why some other tree has some other particular shape? How does the tree decide that it should have this particular shape for the leaf? So when you go from questioning beyond questioning, that is what we call critical thinking. So you are critically thinking, you are going beyond observation, beyond simple questioning to critical thinking. So this critical thinking is what will lead to further new knowledge. So this entire process of curiosity, observation, inquiry, questioning, and critical thinking will lead to creation of new knowledge. So this entire process is known as research. And many of our students in this university, they are involved in this process of researching things. Now, you might have gone during your holidays to your grandparents' village. So when you went there, of course you will observe. You might have observed that, let's say hypothetically, you find that the water in the village is salty. So that is your first observation. So then you may think, what could be the reason for this water being salty? And you do some research and you find that, well, there are certain sources of salts which are mixing with the water, and that is why it is turning into salty, and therefore it is not suitable for drinking. So you have done some research, you have created some knowledge because you have found the sources of this contamination. So this is research. But then, if you, based on this knowledge, if you find a way of removing these salts from the water, right, you have an application of your research. But suppose this process that you have developed through your research work gives you pure water from salty water. But it takes 1 day to produce 1 liter of water, good drinkable water from salt water. Your research will be of no use. Yes, you have found a way through your observation and inquiry and some kind of process, you have found a way to produce clean water from salt water, but if it is of no use at all, because if I produce only 1 liter per day for my entire village, what will I do? That is where you have to innovate. Can I come up with some other process? I know how to convert salt water into water, but can I find some other way to produce maybe 10,000 liters per day? That is where innovation comes. So just doing research for research alone is not sufficient. You need to innovate your research so that it becomes useful for the larger public good. And that is what we do in universities such as JNU. You do research, you do innovation, so that you find solutions to the problems that the society is facing. Today we have many problems. Let it be security of our systems, internet systems, or finding drugs for the diseases. We have malaria, we have cancer, we have HIV, we have so many other diseases. We need to find solutions, we need to find drugs. Nobody else is going to do research and innovate and then give the solutions to you. So the future therefore lies in the young minds who are sitting here. In India we have huge number of young scholars, young students who are going through this education of secondary education, primary education to higher education, so that they are trained to think critically and find solutions to the problems that our country is facing. We hope that when you go around the labs here, when you see some of these stalls here and meet our research students, you will be encouraged, you will be motivated to get into research and find solutions so that we build a better India, an equitable India, an inclusive India. So I once again welcome you to JNU, and I hope that you will enjoy and benefit by talking to our researchers in JNU. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's really important that translational research is picking up in India, and we are looking for drug molecules for various diseases. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I would like to invite Dr. V.K. Saraswat, who is our chief guest, to address the audience. Dr. Saraswat is presently Chancellor of JNU. He is an Indian scientist who formerly served as the Director General of the Defense Research and Development Organization and the Chief Scientific Advisor to the Indian Ministry of Defense. He is presently member of Niti Aayog and also Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University. He is the key scientist in the development of Prithvi missile and its induction in the Indian Armed Forces. Born in 1949 in a Marwari family at Daunili locality in Gwalior, he completed his bachelor's in engineering from Madhav Institute of Technology and Science, Gwalior. He did his M.Tech from Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore, and obtained doctorate degree in propulsion engineering from Osmania University. Shri Saraswat is the recipient of many national and international awards. A few of them are like Padma Bhushan in 2013, Padma Shri in 1998, Vikram Sarabhai Memorial Award from Indian Science Congress in 2011, and Lifetime Achievement Award by Ramakrishna Vivekananda International Foundation. He is fellow and a member of various academics and societies. So we very warmly welcome Dr. V.K. Saraswat here for his address. Thank you.
Very good morning. Vice Chancellor Shri Dr. Jagdish Kumar ji, other dignitaries on the dais, students from various schools from Delhi, faculty members of JNU. I am extremely happy to be here today on the open day of JNU. My concept of open was slightly different. I thought it will be open to all, that you will have students not only from outside, but you will have JNU students also coming and participating in this. But I am given to understand that it's exclusively for the students from outside. So let me just think what is the kind of message I would like to deliver to you. Friends, you have to look at what's happening, as Dr. Jagdish Kumar said in his inaugural address. country needs today tremendous amounts of transformation in our journey of science, technology, what we are doing today for the societal good. Our Honorable Prime Minister has been mentioning that science and technology and research should support the various problems which the country faces, find solution thereof, and hence add to the economy of the nation. On top of that, we have the great demand today that whatever we do, it should also be eco-friendly. That means it should have sustainable solutions for the society. And what is the sustainable solution what you are talking of? That it means it should take care of the environment, it should take care of the social aspects of the system, and also should take care of the economy. All the three have to be taken care of. That is how our work in the universities, in the colleges, in our education, everywhere has to take place. On top of that, what is happening today is that you have tremendously disruptive technologies which are coming. And one among them is what you are using today, information communication technology, ICT. And because of this ICT, there is a tremendous change which is taking place, and that's why now we call today science. Science is changing and science is 2.0. Education is changing and it is called third generation education system. And industry is changing, it is called fourth generation industry. Now you must be wondering what are these generations we are talking of. Second generation of science, third generation of education, and fourth generation of industry 4.0. The way teaching is being done today in your schools, and probably if I compare that to what was being done when I was a student of your age, I find there is already a tremendous change that has taken place. That means we have to also start looking at how, because of this, the change will take place and how it will happen as in the future. And someone has said that he only thinks of the future because that is where he is going to spend the rest of his life. So we have to think of the future, and because that is where we are going to spend the rest of our life. And what is going to the future today because of these disruptive technology changes which are taking place, we have to take care of that. And because of that, these three elements are coming up. The science 2.0, education 3.0, and industry 4.0. I would like to explain to you, because all of you have to face this today or tomorrow, what are these, and particularly to the student community which is present here. What is going to be industry 4.0? I don't know how many of you have actually seen some of the old films where we used to see the treasury, that most of the work was manual. People used to pull great huge masses and take it and to make buildings. I don't know, have you gone to some of the old monuments, all those monuments, how they were built in the past? There are no machines. It was purely human labor. And then after that came industry 1.0, where we have what is called mechanization took place. And why it happened? You must have read in your books, the steam engine came. The steam engine came, and then it started giving you all kinds of devices by which you mechanize the process of manufacturing. Then came the industry 2.0, where electricity was developed. Before that there was no electricity. The moment electricity came, then we have got a lot of devices which started being powered. The machines started working on electricity, and hence that became industrial mechanization that took us industry 2.0. And today, with the digital technologies coming, all of you are using cell phones today. Some of them are using smartphones today. Digital technologies have come, and that has given us what is called industry 3.0, and the third industrial revolution has come. But now things are going beyond that. Your smartphones are the beginning, what you are holding today. That beginning is called the starting point of cyber physical systems. That is not only the information, but the use of information for moving things. And that is going to be Industry 4.0, which is giving birth to the new set of technologies. Now, many people are talking that it will bring a lot of automation, it is going to bring a lot of, through innovation, it is going to be robotics, it is going to be machine learning, it is going to be issues which are going to be related to artificial intelligence that will bring smartness in your systems. And what your human brain is doing, the computers are going to do much better than that, and hence you are likely to get a change in your style of working. The role of human beings in doing things will change, and that is what some people say, that even today's workforce in the industry, in the schools, in the other offices, everywhere will change, and more people, the more and more jobs which are being done today by the human beings will be done by the machines and the robots. Now that is 4.0. Today, if that is going to happen, what is going to happen to all of us? Are we going to be redundant? Or is the today's workforce which is there today, is that workforce going to be useless? As a student, what you are doing today, will it all be available in the computers, and then do you have to learn the same way the way you are learning today? So all this has to be addressed, and then that Industry 4.0 gives you a chance where advanced automation, robotics, artificial intelligence, big data analytics will be the four major drivers. And there is a saying that data is the new oil. Oil is used today for powering things, for generating electricity. So it is going to be new oil. Information is the new currency, and artificial intelligence is going to be the new electricity. It is said that the Industrial Revolution freed humanity from much repetitive physical drudgery, and artificial intelligence will free humanity from repetitive mental drudgery. What we are doing to do, a lot of complex calculations we do many times using our own brain, all that will be replaced. That will go, mental drudgery will also vanish. You hear all the time about AI, machine learning, deep learning. Things are indeed dramatically changing today. Machines will increasingly take away jobs that require both brain and brawn. Machines will influence both the blue collar and the white collar jobs. India cannot afford to have technology-led jobless growth. India will have to work on innovative strategies to deal with this massive change which is coming. Now, in the changing scenario of this artificial intelligence, what will happen, how we are going to create jobs, and hence we'll have to start thinking of the new processes of learning. So we'll have to unlearn what we have learned, we have to relearn what we have to do, new things, and continuous learning process has to be done. That's why it is now becoming the next set of education. Education which used to be once upon a time, I don't know how many of you know that education in the olden days used to be the Gurukul system. There used to be Gurukuls, and there used to be a select few who had the access to those Gurukuls, and they used to go and learn from various rishis and munis and so on in our system. And that Gurukul system was the education 1.0. Then came the education system which is called the education 2.0. It had to do with the broadcast and an assembly line model in which there was mass enrollment. Large number of people used to come. There was one to many. One teacher, hundreds. Even today I think many of these schools follow that. And they used to disseminate information. Knowledge was limited to books in the library. That is 2.0. Now comes education 3.0 with dramatic paradigm shift. In this, what is this happening? Information memorization and brute force recall will be irrelevant. Many of you still do what is called rote learning. That will go, because everything what you see in your books and this one is available on the computer, and you will be able, on the click of a button, you will be able to retrieve information. From brain as a storage to brain as an intelligent processor will become the norm. Collecting the dots will be less important than connecting the dots. We have to put things together. That will be more important. Second, humanity. Accumulated knowledge will now be freely available on the internet. It will be indexed, and you can query what are the pluses and minuses of anything which you are doing today. Rich formatted content, flipped classrooms, and research material from the best faculty on a subject will be available free. And fourth is, it will be demand tutoring, people to people learning, personalized and generated course structure and sequencing to meet the individual needs will be the order of the day. And demands of the industry 4.0 will be drastically change the list of top skills that will be needed in the future. What skills what we have today, they will become irrelevant. And what will be those skills? Dealing with more complexity. The system is not going to be same what we are having today. We will need, as Professor Jagdish Kumar was telling, critical thinking, with creativity, and we will also need emotional intelligence and more cognitive flexibility. These are some of the new demands which will be placed on us. And finally, there will have to be the ability of co-working, co-creation, and that too with both man and machine together. And then what will happen to science in these conditions? And then we will enter into the science 2.0. The science what we have been doing today will also get transformed. It will be the science that uses information sharing and collaboration made possible by network technologies and will be inspired by the Web 2.0 technology. Today, you can see what you are doing on the internet. You should be able to work on that. It will use collaborative tools like blogs, video journals, share findings, raw data, online data-driven discovery will be the norm. And there is already an explosion of online tools and platforms available to scientists. I want to share with you that CSIR, about 10 years before, when all the world was still thinking about it, came with the idea of open drug discovery. And that was used extensively, where large number of institutions in this country were made to work towards tuberculosis and malaria kind of disease discoveries. And that is what has happened today. Now this is the transformation which science is going to take, where more and more work will be in the co-creative manner, and it should be on the open platforms where open drug discovery kind of activities will be taken. How do we ensure that India becomes a leader in science 2.0, education 3.0, and industry 4.0? For this, the most important thing that would be required will be working together. And in this case, because of the fact what we are talking of, co-creation, co-working, I would like to share with you, and I would like to remind you the story of the hare and the tortoise. Many of you must have read in your school books about this story. Have you read or not? Yeah, your parents must have told. But have you read the full story or only the part of it? You must have read or heard that the tortoise and the rabbit, when they had the race, the rabbit lost it because he slept and the tortoise continued to walk. But I don't know whether you have read beyond that what happened. The story goes like this. Beyond that, the rabbit was very upset. He was cursing himself, why did he do this? So he went back to the tortoise and he said, no, I want to have the race again. The tortoise said, what is this? The race was already over. He said, no, I want to have the race again. He pestered it. And then tortoise agreed. But he said, look, only one condition I'll do, that I will choose the path. He said, fine, whatever path you choose, I'll do. So this time he changed the path. And the tortoise and the rabbit ran. The rabbit was smart. This time he did not sleep. He went, as he was going fast, he found tortoise was nowhere to be seen, and he found that on the way there was a big pond, and that rabbit didn't know what to do at that point in time. Then came tortoise nicely crawling along, and then he swam across the pond and he went out. Tortoise or the rabbit felt cheated. He said, "This is not correct. I have been cheated." That means there's a message here. In your life, it is not always one path. You will have different difficulties at different times, and you have to learn how to do that. So second time also, the rabbit lost. So this time he said, no, I have been cheated. This is not the right way to do that. I want the race again. He said, fine, but I am now going to tell you that we are going to do the race on my terms. This is what tortoise said. He said, okay, whatever you said, fine. So they started. As they were going, he said, now I am coming. So when I am on the ground, I'll be riding you. When I go into the pond, then you will be riding me. Finally, they swam the pond together. And at that point in time, the tortoise told the rabbit, because there was still some path to be covered, and that path was the ground path. So he said, now you run fast so that you can win the race and tell the whole world that we have won the race. That rabbit said, but you have run the race with me? He said, no. Now you should go and tell. There will be a lot of TV cameras, there will be channels waiting for you. Who has won the race? You can go and announce. So rabbit went there and he announced that the tortoise and rabbit ran the race together and they have won. What is the message? That is the message of working together and giving credit not to yourself alone, but to the entire team. That is the way the education is going to be tomorrow. That is the way you have to work together. The work capability to work together, co-create, co-work, and ensure that any mission which we have to work, whether it's the improvement of the society, improvement of the environment, improving our economy, doing research, even playing games in your school or college, working together, giving as a teamwork, have the cause work together is the more important, and then you will be able to make an impact as far as the country is concerned. It's always that the teamwork and the leadership in the teamwork, that the team is important, that the rabbit has demonstrated, the tortoise and the rabbit demonstrated. That is what I would like it to demonstrate. I think what you will see in the Jawaharlal Nehru University today, many of the activities which have been done by the students and the faculty members of the institute, in terms of research, in terms of areas in which they have done wonderful work and brought laurels to the nation. That's why they are number one among the various universities in the country today. That's why the quality of research in this institution is of high order, because there is a team spirit that exists. There is a spirit that this institution can deliver goods by working together. I think all the students who are going to see the various science departments, linguistic departments, all the demonstrations will realize that the excellent work which has been done by the university will also motivate you to join here and come here for your future research and also contribute to the growth of the nation. I wish you all the very best and have a nice time. Thank you.
Dr. Saraswat, for very enlightening discussion with paradigm shift and transformations that our education and industry is taking place in terms of science 2.0, education 3.0 and industry 4.0. Thank you very much, sir. And now I invite our Vice Chancellor, Professor Kumar, to felicitate Dr. Saraswat with a moment. Now I request Professor Kulshrestha, who is the convener of the program and an eminent scientist in School of Environmental Sciences, to deliver his vote of thanks.
It's my great pleasure to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of organizing committee for this successful event. At first, I thank the children, their teachers and the schools for coming to JNU and making this event a great success. I sincerely thank Professor V.K. Saraswat, Chief Guest, who readily accepted our invitation and made it possible to grace the event. I appreciate his thoughtful interaction and stories for children, and I think they will get some very excellent lesson out of that, and they will try future research with collaboration and future cooperation. I thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor for chairing the function. And let me tell you, it was his idea to celebrate such Open Day last year, and that is why we successfully celebrated first Open Day last year with huge contribution from different schools of Delhi. I thank Mr. K.K. Sharma, Secretary MHRD, who accepted our invitation but could not come due to some urgent meeting. I thank Professor Karkoti, Rector 2, who is also the chairman of this organizing committee, for his welcoming address and overall supervision of this program. He has been the pillar of strength, guiding always this organizing committee very successfully. I thank all the deans and chairpersons who sincerely cooperated during the preparations of this function. This year we have, 3 stalls from our military establishment, which are affiliated JNU. We are giving degree to those engineers passing out from those establishments. One from CME Pune, then MAU, and third one is MCE Secunderabad. I think there are 30 and the personnel who have come all the way to make this event very memorable for children, school children especially. When they go, we have movie here, so when you see movie and visit their store, that I am sure you will be impressed and remember all time the duties, contributions, and also the way they have made their engineering output, prototypes. You will see that. Hopefully you will enjoy that. I am glad to mention that we have involved fairly large number of JNU students as volunteers in this event. Some are service volunteers and some are postal volunteers. Without that it was not possible. They have worked, untiringly. Let's give them. They deserve it. Thank you very much. I thank them for dedicating their time and efforts for JNU. I thank all the help received from security, engineering, horticulture, state, administration in general, CIS, and one and all. If I forget some, we have got very good exemplary cooperation from each department in the name of JNU. I especially thank the staff of Rector 2 office for handling communication and other assignments, without which it was not possible, because everything nowadays, email and that. So they did an excellent job. I thank all the school representatives. We had school representatives from different, that is basically faculty members. They have done excellent coordination job, and I thank all of them, with whom, basically the faculty members were given responsibility. They were having some representative volunteers, student volunteers, and with their team they have done this excellent job. I thank all of them. I thank all the committee members, core committee members and other committee members who have put their untiring effort to make this happen. In fact, we were here up to midnight mounting the posters and that. So I would like to mention my special thanks to Mr. J.P. Singh, Principal of Kendriya Vidyalaya, Pushpa Vihar, who so I contacted him and he readily agreed. He said, now we are seeing this Audi and that Audi. Mr. J.P. Singh, thank you very much. Lastly, I thank one and all who have contributed directly or indirectly in this event and execution very successfully. Thank you very much. And now we have movie. Ranjana will announce that. Please have patience and enjoy that. I hope you will enjoy the gallery and other things. Anything you have, then please contact volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you all. Now I request our dignitaries to take their seats while we display movie. So this is a movie about JNU and its accomplishments, and that will be followed by a defense their movie. They want to show us how all the defense activities take place, and then we will eventually move towards different poster galleries that is displayed outside the convention center in the gallery area, and we have different school visits where you can visit Special Center for Molecular Medicine, Special Center for Nanosciences, School of Arts and Aesthetics, School of International Studies, and School of Languages. So you can visit these schools after we are done with this movie session, and I hope you will have a good day today to interact with the researchers, scholars, and gain a handful of information that will be important for your career in the future.
To some, it is the citadel of progressive ideology. For others, a pristine woodland perfect for a contemplative retreat. Some are awestruck by the ivory tower, while the multitude is spellbound by the infectious exuberance. Liberal yet engaged mindset. Informality of the classrooms. Others envy its reputation as a trendsetter in academics. It has been a long journey. JNU JNU was born as the eventful decade of the 1960s was drawing to a close. Status quo was being challenged everywhere.
Ask what you can do for your country.
Events abroad resonated loudly at home. None could remain untouched by the intellectual ferment or social turmoil.
Oh, the times they are changing.
The loftiest point on the campus commemorates the man who laid the firm foundation of this grand edifice. G. Parthasarathi, appointed as the first Vice-Chancellor, began work from the camp office at Vigyan Bhavan. Along with Munis Raza as the first Rector, the office of the Vice-Chancellor in the later years was occupied by distinguished individuals. One of them even served as the President of the country. The newly founded schools started functioning from what is now known as the old campus. Over 1,000 acres of land was earmarked for the new campus on the spur of the ancient Aravalli Mountains. Work gathered momentum and red brick structures began to rise, reviving memories of ancient seats of learning. The pursuit continues, celebrating diversity, but never losing sight of the strands that unite us fellow Indians and human beings. JNU is every bright youngster's dream. Thousands of applicants seek admission each year. The fortunate few who make it to the institution get the flavor of JNU right from the doorstep. Small booths line the road leading to the administrative block, where helpful seniors assist the freshers. Even this initiation is not without the imprint of the JNU culture. The admission is a single window process, and the JNU administration has over the years made it a smooth, speedy and painless process. Entrants from different parts of the country bring with them their own dreams and aspirations.
One day, in the coming future, I can play a part in policy forming and framing think tanks, and maybe I can do something good for my own people.
The academic complex is an impressive cluster of schools where teaching and research covers the range of subjects from science and technology to humanities. The university was among the first in the country to introduce the semester system and internal assessment in various academic programs. The School of Social Sciences has from the outset boldly ventured to dismantle narrow disciplinary confines.
School of Social Sciences was meant to be the heart and really think on issues in a fresh, novel, independent way. Look at what were the problems which India had and which Third World had, and then evolve its programs geared to that rather than to an agenda that had been set by the West.
Though the MA program remains largely rooted in a basic discipline, the students are encouraged to take up courses in other centers. The underlying philosophy maintains that an interdisciplinary approach is imperative for a proper understanding of social reality. The Center for Historical Studies has spawned what is popularly recognized as the JNU School of History. All the major debates and disputations that have featured in scholarly discourse in past decades have been initiated or shaped by the scholars here. Issues of equity and social justice are the primary concern of the Center for Study of Social Systems. Scholars, following in the footsteps of legendary pioneers, have won acclaim for their work on ethnicity and the marginalized. Democratic institutions, Indian parliamentary system and federalism, political theory and multiculturalism are some of the areas that have engaged scholars in the Center for Political Studies. Some of the most distinguished economists in the country have been associated with the Center for Economic Studies and Planning. The areas of their research interests range from purely theoretical to public policy. The Center for Studies in Regional Development focuses on research and teaching in demography, measurement of development, state-of-the-art cartography, glaciology and climate change. Some of the remotest regions in the country were first explored by students from this center.
Many times I used to take my students to glaciers, and then we also used to select 1 or 2 villages to look at the human response to such difficult environment.
Other centers in this school engage in teaching and research in application-oriented areas cutting across different disciplines. Natural sciences, like social sciences, present a fascinating realm for study and research. The School of Life Sciences carries on pioneering work cutting across many traditional subjects.
So this was an experiment. Started teaching biology to physics people and physics to biology people, like that. And it turned out to be a wonderful experiment. Today, we are one of the leading biological sciences school where integrative sciences is the theme.
Within the school's faculty, there are experts and active researchers representing almost all areas of modern biology.
I also work on computational biology, and I have dual appointment between this school and the School of Computational Systems. Because of JNU, I could pursue the 2 separate areas. JNU has that culture that allows you to do it.
The school stresses on the uniformity principles of molecular and cellular mechanisms in all living systems.
We do some sort of metabolic engineering where, let's say for instance in brassica, the Indian mustard that we work upon, we have created these Indian mustard plants which can tolerate heat, they can tolerate salt stress.
Many research projects also enable the students to take up challenging and modern research topics for their MPhil and PhD.
What is upcoming now, like nanoscience, like chemical biology, modeling, that does not in any way mean that we are ignoring what has been there.
Jawaharlal Nehru University was among the first to initiate postgraduate teaching and research programs in the field of biotechnology.
The emphasis is more on developing technologies, where you apply the knowledge of engineering sciences, physical sciences and biological sciences to produce useful products or services.
The research group here has contributed to the development of genetically engineered vaccine against anthrax, and many other life-saving vaccines. The internationally recognized faculty of the school has many patents to its credit. Newcomers and visitors alike are amazed to observe that the JNU never sleeps. Researchers are busy in their labs and scholars in the library and the MA programs.
एक नए ढंग की शिक्षा प्रणाली, एक नए ढंग की परीक्षा,
philosophy and semiotics. The Center for Linguistics within the school has done stellar work on lost languages. This is the only school in the university that conducts undergraduate classes.
I think they pass out having learned a lot, which is not necessarily in terms of the language itself, but it is in terms of the behavior and the attitude and the reaction to things, which I think comes from being in JNU and I think being exposed to all these languages. So I think they do take what is good from the various languages they learn.
Own building.
The Arabian Sea and the historic Mount Delhi offer a pristine backdrop for the Indian Naval Academy, which occupies about 2,500 acres of land in the Kannur district of Kerala. It is here that the future naval officers are nurtured. The state-of-the-art technology in the classrooms or the best sports and outdoor infrastructure, cadets at the academy have it all. It is here they learn to concentrate, retain composure under stressful conditions and develop mental toughness, skills so critical to succeed in battle. The academy provides time and resources to train and equip them to meet any challenges at sea or on land, to make naval officers of boys fresh from schools.
While the world outside sleeps, the Indian Naval Academy is busy warming up. Run their mandatory 2-kilometer jog in precisely 8 minutes.
The rope tests are brutal. Cadets are not allowed to use their feet. Keeping the bodies parallel to the rope, the cadets climb, using just their arm muscles. Physical training is key to building the strength of these cadets, and the degree of difficulty goes up every term.
There is no let-up for the female cadets. Although they will be taking on non-combat roles, they too need to be physically fit. The academy currently has 1,200 cadets, and cadets are divided into 6 squadrons. Each squadron is housed in its own building, and every squadron has its own color, its own flag, and its own battle cry, and compete against each other for the year-end prize, the championship banner.
All our young people aspiring to join the Indian Naval Academy must have the hunger to excel intellectually, physically, and emotionally. The Academy will provide the intellectual foundation for further education and will also enable them to respond effectively to all possible challenges in today's rapidly changing world. The Academy provides a 4-year BTech program to all aspirants on completion of 12th standard of the 10+2 system of education with physics and maths as core subjects. The candidate must appear in the entrance exam conducted by the UPSC twice a year, followed by an interview and psychometric tests by the Services Selection Board or SSB. On completion of training at the INA, all cadets obtain a BTech degree in Applied Electronics and Communication Engineering, Mechanical Engineering or Electronics and Communication Engineering. Naval cadets who have completed their 3 years training in BSc Nautical Science from the National Defence Academy, Khadak join the INA for a degree in MSc Applied Electronics and Communication. Graduates who have completed BE or BTech degree with minimum 65% aggregate marks from a recognized university can also join the Indian Naval Academy for a career in the Indian Navy through the Short Service Commission route. These SSC officers are also trained at the Indian Naval Academy for 6 months, during which time they are provided an orientation to the naval way of life. Sports like football, basketball, billiards and sailing foster the essence of teamwork in all avenues of life.
The 8 terms of 4 years the cadets spent at the Naval Academy is completely transformative and changes them from young civilian boys into well-trained naval officers.
Unlike other college students, the cadets are not allowed any personal belongings. No favorite t-shirts, no music systems, and no mobile phones. Instead, they're taught how to walk,
talk, and dress the military way. To protect the nation, every naval officer needs to know how to handle arms. The cadets learn how to handle small arms like the 9mm pistol, which they can strip and assemble in a minute. The 9mm carbine, as well as the indigenously built 5.56 Insas rifle. The Academy's specially built firing range is equipped with computers and sensors to make the cadets into ace marksmen.
3 a.m.
It's an earlier than usual start for these cadets at the Indian Naval Academy as they get ready for combat training. The 4-day camps are grueling and aim to test the limits of these cadets physically and mentally. Dawn breaks, but little light permeates the dense tropical jungle the cadets are running in. There are no paths here. The cadets are dependent on the compass and the navigator's skill to find their way. The camp days are packed full of challenges. And coming up next is raft making. Each cadet has to carry these 4 kg metal drums. And with the sun up, balancing a tubular weight is no easy task. Their challenge? To build a raft using just 4 items: planks, ropes, plywood and drums. This exercise is a test to see how well the cadets can work as a team. They're also being marked on their knot-making skills, which are crucial in the Navy. The teams lash their drums together as tightly as they can. And finally, it's time to test their rafts in the backwaters. There is no let-up. It's straight to the obstacle course for the cadets. leadership qualities.
The natural element of the Navy. It's mandatory for every cadet here to learn basic swimming within 6 months of entering the academy. However, many of those who join can't swim to save their lives and are called dead sinkers.
To pass the first term, the cadets had to swim 50 meters, float vertically for 3 minutes, and jump from a 5-meter height.
Very good. Very good.
And by the time they are in the final term, the seniors are expected to jump from a 33 feet high platform, something they may have to do from a ship. Marching in perfect time to the drums, shoes polished to a mirror-like shine, the cadets parade, closely scrutinized by the examiners. The drill is more than just ceremonial and helps prepare these cadets for combat. There is very little that misses the trainer's eye.
Close to where we are supposed to be.
The trainers at the academy are sharp and exacting and demand perfection.
I don't know if you could do a proper...
Punishments are focused on character building and improving physical fitness, and can be given for a wide variety of reasons. Not having a proper haircut, absence from the place of duty, skipping meals, or breaching the honor code.
It's strict discipline and tough training that keeps the cadets on their toes and helps them master different skill sets. Here at the Watermanship Center, they master navigation the practical way, using just their bodies and sails to propel these sailboats. At the academy, the cadets are not just groomed to become battle-ready machines, they are also groomed to be gentlemen and trained in the fine art of dining.
Dinner nights are a treat for the cadets and take place thrice every semester. It's a meal fit for a king, with a fabulous 7-course dinner. The cadets dress in their formals for the grand meal and break bread with the officers who train them. The dinner nights are truly special and have a brass band in attendance, with the music changing for every course of the 2 hours.
There is a different energy in the drill shed. The 8-term cadets gather one last time in their ceremonial number 2s. They will soon be separated and posted to different fleets. But the camaraderie developed here at the academy will last a lifetime.
The tricolor, the flag they will rally around in war and peace.
The passing out parade is important for academy, which shows the culmination of a successful tenure of process of converting a young boy into an officer and a gentleman. Passing out parade is a very memorable event for every cadet who passes out, because the moment he crosses the mast, thereafter he is an officer.
They march slow and steady through the quarterdeck and under the mast.
These last steps towards the Antim Pag, the final step before getting formally commissioned into the Navy.
The Antim Pag is the last step which cadet takes. That is the time he crosses the mast on the main ties, and after that he becomes a commissioned officer, and
thereon starts the responsibilities on his shoulders.
The slow, steady march through the quarterdeck and under the mast.
When they finally took the Antim Pad, one felt a deep sense of accomplishment, pride, and the fact that mission has been achieved. They are leaving the academy as future leaders.
Their final step, heralding the end of their training and the beginning of new responsibilities.
The privilege of shipping the stripes on their children's shoulder.
These are the faces of the next generation of Navy leaders. They will patrol the seas. They will keep the peace. And never surrender.
Thank you all for patience, and I hope you all had a good view of academics done at JNU as well as our defense forces amount of efforts that goes into it. So now please be seated while our dignitaries make their way out of the hall, and I will announce accordingly how to evacuate and exit from the hall. I request all the school volunteers to take their positions with respective schools, as well as exit planners who are our volunteers to be here. So thank you all here once again for being here, all the dignitaries and the school students. Volunteers, please take your position with respect to the respective school assigned to you. And the exit volunteers, please be there at the gate. Now we will start moving from the back rows. So first KV, Kendriya Vidyalaya Pushp Vihar, section A. Please get ready to move from the exit from the gate at the back, and you will all be moving towards the poster gallery that is displayed outside in the convention center, followed by the exhibitions that are displayed by various schools in the lawn. And eventually your volunteers will guide you to respective school visits, and hope you will have a great day in JNU today. Thank you all for participating. Section B, Kendriya Vidyalaya Pushp Vihar. Section C,